last form in Kenpo Karate for Christ for yellow belt, and most Kenpo schools will do this too, will use short form 1. It's the introduction to the actual Kenpo forms designed for the Kenpo system. Difference being, there's a mirror image to this. There's short form 1, and then there's short form 1 doing both sides. And at least the way I learned it coming in was you started at yellow belt and you did short form 1 on one side, and then the next level you learned to do the mirror image of it. We're going to start right off the bat and do the whole thing. Mirror image, both right side and left. I actually use just the right side for my kids' class. It's kind of the last thing they do, as it introduces them to start learning the adult level full yellow belt material. And in my kids' class, it's like sub-levels of white belt. They go through the same 7 color steps that we do. They don't have 2 levels of green and 3 levels of brown like we do, but the same 7 colors that are a white belt with that color that they're earning, stripe running along the middle, and it's much less from one level to the next. It's a smaller step. They're seeing those rewards earlier. So you can start a kid at like 5 years old, learning the 10 techniques in yellow belt and Heian, Shodan, and short form 1 and blocking set. That's a lot for a 5-year-old. And they're probably going to be at it for a while, maybe a year or more, before they can really acclimate all that material. So the kids program is designed to set it up in a way that it stair steps to prepare them just to step into the adult level program. So by the time they've graduated out of that, the last step they do is the short form 1 on one side, on just the right side. So I launch right off the bat for yellow belt for the program at large, Kenpo Karate for Christ. We do both sides, right and left for yellow belt. Introduces the mirror image right away. So for short form 1, starts in our salutation here. Left hand's a sword for scholar, right hand's a fist for the warrior. Wisdom in action, and bring the two together. And from here, this whole form is going to be a neutral bow, and it's retreating. You're always moving away from your attacker here. And it's like taking blocking set and putting some movement with it. And so from the top, my first step, unlike blocking set, we're going to not start with the high block, but I'm going to start with an inward block first. As I step back, boom, into my right side neutral bow, and immediately deliver right inward block to my attacker. So they're approaching from 12 o'clock, they're coming at me. And I'm retreating towards 6. I step back with the left, inward block with the right, step 1. I step back with the right, inward block with the left. And that's step 2. For step 3, I'm going to change angles here. With short form 1, we're going to do both sides with the block, and we're going to be retreating. So you'll always be taking one step back, and then we're going to change angles as we change what our attack is. In this case, we change angles. The attacker now is coming from the left, coming from 9 o'clock, and I'm going to step up with the right foot so that when I turn, my left toe and my right heel are still on that same line. I want to keep my neutral bow the whole time. So as I step up, don't step like too far past or not far enough. If you drew a straight line on the floor, your left toe and your right heel should still be on that line, so you have your neutral bow. And from that left inward block, I just move it to an outward block. It's a vertical outward block, not an extended outward block. Short form 1 is going to utilize this vertical outward block here. So same hand, inward block, I just, boom, move it across my body to a vertical outward block. And then I'm going to step back at step 3. Step 4, now the right side is forward, and I do a right vertical outward block. So the first 4 steps from the top. I step back, I do a right inward block. I step back, I do a left inward block. Step up with the right, I turn a left outward block. I step back, I do a right outward block. Now from here, I'm going to turn facing the opposite wall. So I'm going to turn towards what was 3 o'clock here. And as I do that, as I'm turning towards the left, I've got to adjust my feet, because otherwise I'm going to be in heel-toe line. It's like an inverted neutral bow. It's not very well balanced. So I've got to take a small step with my right foot. That way when I turn, just a tiny step, so that I still have that left toe, right heel line when I turn to face 3. And from here I'll be doing a high block with the left hand. And then I'll retreat, step back with the right, and again I'm going to high block. So it's 2 high blocks left and right here. Now from here, you're already loaded for step 7. I'm going to step towards 12 o'clock with my left foot. Step to the front, because it's always retreating. My attacker is coming from 6. I'm going to turn towards the back here with the right side forward, then drop it down for my downward block. And I'll step back, again, stepping towards 12, and left handle downward block. And then I'm going to step up to close. Now a lot of these forms try and end right where they started. Short form 1 is not really going to do that. Even when you do both sides together, you'll still be about a horse stance in front of where you started, generally speaking. But if I do all of just the first side here, I'm going back right inward block, left inward block. Left outward block, right outward block. I turn, left high block, right high block, right downward block, left downward block, left turns as you step up to close. Now I'm going to do the mirror image. Going straight from here, I step back now with my right foot, and I launch in with the left inward block first. And then I'm going to step back and right inward block. It's an exact mirror image, so now I'm going to turn towards 9 and right outward block. I'm going to step back, left outward block. I do my small step this time with my left so I can turn towards 3 o'clock and a high block with the right, and then I'm going to step back and high block with the left. And then keeping that hand high, I'm going to step towards 12 o'clock with my right, turn towards the back, turn towards 6 with my left, downward block, step back with the left, still facing 6, downward block with the right, and I step up and close. Back to that scholar and warrior position. One more time, short form 1, both sides. I step back, 1, 2, 3, 4, turn, 5, 6, downward, 7, and 8, step up and close. Then the other side, left, inward, 1, 2, 3, 4, turn, 5, 6, to the back, downward, left, 7, then right, 8, up to close, and that's short form 1. Both sides, that's the last requirement for Kenpo Karate for Christ, yellow belt for the forms.